Clarus Fortior, leading edge live online training program.
It went really well. So I think it was the entire month of August and the beginning of September. So
brilliant.
We came out of lockdown, and this was our first reopened soft launch thing. We had 20 or 30 kids there every day doing various activities. Yeah. And they booked the whole venue, and they want to do it again next year. And
because I think this is where the government, to sort of make up for or cover up on the sort of the free school meals bit, it's where they're going to throw a lot of money.
First and foremost, Damien and Sophia, that was brilliant, really very inspiring. Some months ago, we talked about helping you out with a wireless network, and I would like to donate the hardware and the labour involved to just really improve your setup there. So let's come round in a couple of weeks with some drills, and if you can help, then we'll get it sorted and make your space very much connected. And then we'd love to use the space more, meeting space and stuff like that. But yeah, we'd love to be part of your journey and push it on social as well.
Get the support your business needs through our training sessions. Best practice advice, Q&A, one-on-one sessions, expert guest speaker webinars, video portal and monthly networking events.
I would love to feedback, and I'm really pleased to feedback that my vision is much clearer than when we started this process. I think what we've done throughout this year is really just peel back the sort of layers of my business, and certainly with Grant's help and guidance, not just in a professional capacity, but in a personal capacity, I'm much clearer about the future. The sales and technical and admin side of it, they are individuals with a profit share and Class C shares. That means this can continue to grow. This is my pocket money. This is a business that I can be involved in 3 days a week. Whereas the 24/7, 365 IT operations and management business, I'd like to sell that in a few years and sail around the world.
Yeah. What I like about your presentation is that you can see that you're thinking about yourself now. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the big things about entrepreneurs, is that the job consumes them so much that they don't separate themselves from the business. So it's nice to see that you're already starting to think about, how do I break away? And I think that process is difficult for a lot of entrepreneurs, because the business defines who they are and it gives them value, and it's being able to split yourself away from the business and see your own value as a person.
Get the expertise and knowledge relevant to your current challenges. Find the missing link to move you from where you are to where you want to be.
The holistic approach, I learned a few things about how to open a business and run a business, and how not to open a business and how not to run a business, and a few other things along the line. But the thing that was the most impact on my life was learning about the human costs of running businesses, and to be factor at those bits into your plans now, I think is really healthy and very encouraging. When that big thing about borders, and because that just bleeds into the business and outside of the business, isn't it?
The thing that Grant always said to me from the very beginning, which I think is probably the biggest reason that I'm on this journey with you guys, is he said it's a game of chess with your clients, with your suppliers, and with your employees, and that stuck with me. I knew when I first met Grant 4 years ago that he had the keen focus that was going to allow me to be a little bit more sort of, boundaries, and not be so committed to every success in the business or every technology solution or problem that was fixed.
What I love is, I think the dashboard, so Grant and I would probably call it a KPI dashboard, but it's more than key performance indicator dashboard. Yeah. It's a sort of, this is what works, this is how we're tracking it, this is what we're doing. And you know what it does? It provides, I think, the link to every single one of your other points, which is it binds and brings the business and everybody in the business in behind a plan, because they can then clearly see what is working, what isn't working, what makes money, what doesn't make money. So I think the energy and effort you're going to put into that dashboard, I know it's hard bloody work, is going to be really worth it, because it will align everybody. Everybody will understand what the journey is.
It's one of those things that without the people in place, it's the same way as Julian's kind of role has been frustrated. He's kind of been moving and taking on more, but he's still being held back by, you know, the things, the involvement in the day-to-day. It's interesting that, you know, obviously me coming into the business has enabled him to step away that little bit more, but I'm now finding very similar issues, you know, because I'm relied upon to, you know, pick up the phone if the engineers are on all on calls, and you know, and deal with a support issue if I need to. You can't lose yourself in anything. You can't immerse yourself in anything strategic if you've got half an ear open for the phone ringing.
Join our community of business leaders and experts and push yourself and your business to the next level.
I really like in your presentation, Amy, that you focus about the employees and about giving them kind of an action plan, because then they own that and it takes it off you. You know, it's their career is their responsibility, not yours. And I think by seeing that as well, you start attracting really good talent that says, this place cares about my development and they're going to help me achieve it. So
yeah, I echo that. I had a few points. One was the action plan. So it's just my notes were excellent idea, and by doing that you understand what they want, you know, and they feel heard. You then deliver an action plan that delivers on what they actually want and need in their life and their career. If you're doing incentives, it makes it really easy, because you know what would incentivize that person.
First of all, I'd like to say thanks to everyone, really, because it's been, I've really enjoyed it, actually. I've come from a little bit of a different sort of viewpoint as you guys, because you're all seeing how you're going to move your businesses on and making, you know, important decisions like that. And it's quite inspirational, actually, listening to what you guys have done, especially through lockdown. And I've, as a sort of fly on the wall listening in, been really, really interesting and quite motivational, actually. So thank you, everyone, for that. For me, I think what I've learned is, especially sort of from the sales point of view, we've had lots of discussions about, you know, referral plans and scripts and what we're going to do when we're networking and all that kind of thing. And that's been really, really valuable for me. So I know what I need to do now. That's in place. I've got sort of things that I do now. Every time we get a sale, I ask for a referral, and we do, and you know, things that Kevin and Grant discussed throughout, and I've taken that on board. And it's nice to just hear, as an employee, what an employer thinks about, and that's actually
I think that's
a lot of employees don't get.
Yeah, I think that's a really valuable point, because that ups your stock value yourself, just that you know that, you know then how to communicate with a boss, or with an owner, let's say, because, you know, more than some other people, because you kind of understand by listening to these guys going through their journey and what they're having to be faced with. You know, it is the other side of the desk. So you can't, you know, I think it sets you up really well in the future, and for that I think it's really valuable.
Yeah, 100% it has been. I mean, a lot of employees would never really get the chance to sit and listen to what business owners think and you know, and the decisions they have to go through and how they're going to progress their businesses. It's not something that an employee really ever thinks about or cares about. So for me to hear that has been great. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Huge thank you to all of you, Jeremy and Daniel, and the whole team. So
super nice to get to know you all. And I feel like, you know, you're right with the pandemic. This has been such a valuable resource to get through that. But just so nice to meet all of you and learn from all of you. We've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Caroline.
So look, it's been our pleasure.
Us as well. I mean, for us, it's been just like an amazing resource of like support and encouragement and knowledge. And I mean, you touched on it earlier, Kevin. This is a community, right? And so we've really felt like held, and yeah, it's been amazing. Far exceeded our expectations, definitely.
great.
Thank you. And in many ways, I would concur. It's exceeded my expectations of, how people can work together, businesses can work together, and how you can come through something that's hard and tough and difficult and come up with solutions together.
Well, it also shows the mettle of people, when the proverbial hits the fan, as it did in March, then it's been really interesting watching how you guys have been dealing with that, and there was no hiding in bunkers and whatever, it's interesting for me, the whole experience. And it is true that when we do these things, in every case, the group becomes worth more than the sum of its parts.
Become a part of Clarus Fortior, leading edge live online.